Today we are doing an eyeshadow palette declutter. I'm not going to be getting rid of a ton of stuff, but I did want to go through my collection and pare down some things. I know there are some things I'm just not getting enough use out of. I just want to reiterate that I love every single one of these. Like, they're not bad. I just only have two eyes and I know myself, and there's stuff I'm just not going to be able to use. I have a couple of people in mind that I know that I've already sort of promised things, so I kind of know what I'm keeping and what I'm not, but this is just really for me to kind of take a look and make sure that I am doing all of that I'm having a curated, as much of a curated collection as possible. So here's the first thing. This is the really cute ColourPop highlighter. It's the Super Shock Shadow Highlighter. It's from the Disney Villains collection. The artwork is beautiful. It's the Maleficent Mistress of All Evil one. I got this honestly for the packaging, and I got the set with the highlighter, the lipstick, and the gloss. The gloss and the lipstick I am keeping because I do love those, but this I'm just not going to get enough use out of, so I am sending this down to my mom in California. So now this e.l.f. palette it's a good solid like matte palette, and I really do like it. I think the colors are creamy. They're not the best formula in the world, but honestly I want to keep this just in case I travel, because I think this is an awesome matte palette because you do have some neutrals, and you've got colorful eyeshadow, so you have a lot of range. But this was only $10, so if I lost this, then I wouldn't like be super sad. So that one I'm keeping. And this one I know, so these two I know I'm keeping because they're brand new to my collection. So this is the Earth and Ocean palette by e.l.f. I really love the palette except for this shade. This is a dead shade in here called Tundra. It really like behaves like a pressed glitter. I don't like it. It's flaky, and it just like I don't even want to swatch it because it gets all over the place. It's just terrible. All of the other colors are really, really nice. Like, I don't have anything like rock bottom. It's like this taupey color. I'll swatch this for you. So because I'm a color lover, I just don't have like a ton of champagne-y like taupes and stuff like that. Rock bottom and Fuji Feels. So this is Rock Bottoms, this is Fuji Feels. I don't have a ton of those colors in my collection because I just love colorful eyeshadow, and I love that these are like a little bit more cool toned. Also, speaking of things that are new, I did make a video on this, but you know, I was so late to the party that I don't want to blind you guys. I was so late to the party that I didn't want to post it, but let me know if you guys are interested in a swatch video because I did film it. I love this. This is the Norvina Volume 1 Pro Pigment Palette. It's the only vegan palette, these are the only vegan palettes in their range, and I know that a lot of people are like, oh, they're duplicate colors or whatever, but I wasn't able to buy any of the other ABH palettes, and so to me, it's like, this is like getting the Norvina and like, maybe even like a little bit of the Sultry, a little bit of the Lissa Edwards palette, all in one palette, and I really love this. I get compliments on every single look. My favorite shades so far are this really beautiful kind of duochrome, orangey color, and look at that. I don't know if you can see that because duochromes are hard to pick up, but it's this beautiful color, and I've also used it as a blush topper, so I just really love it, and I love the rose gold that's in there too. So that's definitely a keeper. So far we're keeping 3. Most of these we're probably going to be keeping, but some of them I know that I'm not going to. Again, I'm not a huge neutrally eyeshadow palette person, but this is the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. I love this. This shade here, Toffee, is amazing. It's like Half Baked in the Naked palette, but on steroids. And then this Wine and Dine is such a beautiful burgundy color. And I like, if cool toned browns over here, I'm usually not a huge fan, but it really comes in handy when like I'm doing job hunting and I'm going on an interview. That's really, really handy. Now, this one is the Zodiac palette. I love the mattes in here. I do. I love them. I think they're beautiful. I think there's some really interesting colors in here. I was really keeping it for the purples before because I love the purples that are in here. I think this is going on the chopping block. I'm going to try and use this at least 10 times this month, and if I don't use it 10 times, then I'm going to try to find this a better home. But I love this. I do love this so much. When I got this, I loved the baked eyeshadow formula, but honestly, it's a glittery, it looks like a glittery look most of the time, like even when I wet my brush. And I'm not always looking for that. Most of the time I'm not. I want more of a foiled look than a glittery look. So I'm gonna think about it. I did, all of the palettes here I either purchased myself or they were gifts. I don't get PR, so it's a little hard to let go of things that you've invested in, and so it would be really hard for me to let this go. I know a lot of people don't like the highlighter in the middle. I honestly don't think it's bad. I think it's, it's fine. It's a highlighter. But my favorite shades in here are probably the purples. The black is really good, and then this Sagittarius color, oh my goodness. Here, I will swatch that for you, because that, like, all the other ones are pretty, like, they are what you expect them to be, but that one, that green color is, yeah, see, again, I don't think it's picking up on camera really well, but it's this gorgeous, like, warm toned green. I really love it. So that one's going on a chopping block, but we're keeping it for now. This is the Just My Luck palette. This is a definite keep. This is my favorite green tone palette. The best, my favorite shade in here, of course, is going to be Mary Jane, which is this like lime green chartreusey color. It's a perfect inner corner highlight, but I also like putting it all over the lids too. I really, really like that palette. So another one that I think is really appropriate for the fall season is the Venus 2. I love putting this in my crease, or I'm sorry, I love putting this one in my crease, which is called Mud, and then jam all over the lid, and then maybe putting this as an inner corner highlight. It's called Fly. The one shade that I actually bought this for was this duochrome, which is called, I think, Pigeon. I didn't like it when I first got it. So it's like it's a duochromy brown, green, brown, blue thing. I didn't love it at first. Like, I thought it was going to be different, but honestly, if I just want like a fall simple look color, this all over the lid is just beautiful. So I've kind of come around to it. I don't think the blue in here is that great, but all of the other colors I think work just fine. Boot, even though it has sparkles in the black, once you kind of blend it out, like, you don't really see them. This I got in a BoxyCharm Luxe. This is the Protégé palette from Suva Beauty. This one is not vegan, but it really comes in handy in a pinch, like if I want to do a bronzy look, or if I want to go pinky purple. I really do enjoy that. The highlights here are a little bit glittery, but not so much so that it would prevent me from using them. So this one I'm definitely keeping. You can see I have a huge dip in this color called Structure. It's a, let's see, let me use my other hand here. Structure is, I would recommend, if you're going to use this color, using a glitter glue or a tacky base, but look at how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. So there's that one. This one's also from BoxyCharm. I'm definitely keeping this. I've hit pan in this shade, which is called Clove. I love putting that in the crease and then using, what is this? Using jasmine all over the lid, or going in with rose or poppy in the outer V. You can also get, of course there's a train going by, of course there is. You can also get a bronzy look, or this brown is called Cinnamon, and it is one of the best like warm tone browns I've ever used. I really like the Ace Beauté formula. I almost bought the Oceanic palette, but I saw the e.l.f. one at Target before I could order the other one. So these two are the Urban Decay Naked palette. I've got pan in Virgin here, and I've got pretty big dips in Toasted, and I'm nowhere near pan though. Like, these pans are giant and these are really hard pressed shadows, but I've got big pans in not half baked, but in Toasted, and I've got a pretty big dip in Naked as well. So I am going to be keeping this palette. This is my first ever high-end palette purchase. My husband bought it for me. I bought it right before they had discontinued it. So this was the first, well, this one and the Naked Heat were the first, I bought them together, the first high-end eyeshadow palettes that I ever got. And so this is pretty, I would say that it's probably like maybe a year and a half old, so I'm not ready to part with it just yet, and I think powder products last for quite a while, so I am not ready to let this go. I think this is just really beautiful, and I know people say that they don't like the formula as well, or the packaging. I actually kind of like the packaging. I know it does get kind of dirty, but I don't tend to get my palettes that dirty on the outside, but I kind of like the packaging, and I just really, these are just like easy looks. These are like one and done or two and done looks, and so I do appreciate that. I also think that this is a pretty good palette for fall, the Naked Heat palette, and I again have some pretty big dips in like Chaser over here, and Scorched I do like, and I really am fond of like these two mattes, Ashes and En Fuego. I really do, I should say it right, En Fuego. Ember, it's not that I don't like it, I just have a hard time like finding a use for it, because on my eyes it seems to be a little too dark, and I don't necessarily like putting a shimmer in the outer V, but I mean, I don't know, I'll have to play around with this a little bit more. I do love Lumbre over here. I do have a little bit of a dip in that, but the thing is, this thing gets, that particular color gets hard pan so easy, and I don't know why. The other ones don't seem to do that. I mean, it's not a huge deal. I just take the Scotch tape and like press it down, but you know, I mean, yes, is it wasting a little bit of product? Yeah. Are you ever going to go through that much product? Most people don't. So yeah, I'm going to have it for a long time. So I'm definitely a keeper, and it's a little bit sentimental because my husband bought it for me. This one is one that is actually going to a friend of mine. So this is a beautiful shimmer palette. It's an all shimmer palette. It's the NYX Love You So Mochi in Electric Pastels, and I just don't get enough use out of this. So this turquoise color is really pretty. I will swatch it for you. So right here, but see how like it's not this, it really can be built up, and I think this would be really pretty, and you could even use this as like a colorful highlight palette if you didn't mind a glittery highlight, but I just don't use it enough. Like, I've had this for over 2 years now, I think, or well, I think it's been like a year. No, I think it's been 2 years, and I just don't have any significant dips in here. I don't have any good progress on this, and so I want to give it to a home that will just give it more love than I can. And so I have a friend of mine who I'm sending this to, so that one is leaving my collection. The same thing with the Back to Brazil palette. Like, there's nothing wrong with these colors, with these pigments. This black is actually really, really useful. However, there are a couple of shades that do give me a little bit of trouble. The kind of red orange up here, I don't think it shows up that well on my particular skin tone. Somebody who is a little bit fairer, it might work a little bit better. All of these kind of satin and shimmers, they do work really well. With these are actually pigments, so it's better to and they're kind of dusty pigments. So these are better to be placed and then kind of buffed out. So like the ABH Pro Pigment palette, you really don't have to worry about that. Even their pigments are a little bit creamier. But I have a friend who I know could use a rainbow palette, and I'm not getting enough use out of this. I've had this for almost a year and a half. And again, there's no significant dips in this. Like, there's a tiny, tiny dip in this purple one because that's one of my favorite colors. But other than that, there's just not a lot of use on this. And I really want someone to be able to use it and get a lot of use out of and be really excited about. So I have a friend who this is going to, and I can't wait to see the looks they make with it. This is my pride and joy. This is the Give Me Glow Cosmetics Christmas Morning Palette, and it is one of my, I would say the top, probably my second favorite palette after the ABH Norvina Volume 1 palette. So I just got the Norvina Volume 1. I know that's a bold statement, but I do. This color, which is called Gifts Galore, is like a duochrome green color. It's like a green, it's that kind of beetley green. It's what Pigeon tries to be, but just can't quite be. If that makes sense. This stocking stuffer one, that's kind of a bad swatch. That's kind of a bad swatch. Okay, that's better. So that really beautiful red color is called Stocking Stuffers. And then this one is Santa's Sleigh. It's this beautiful silvery color, and it's just gorgeous. It looks a little bit kind of dusty on my arms because my arms are a little bit darker than my eyelids. They're a little bit more tan, but the mattes in here are super, super creamy. This chimney color, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. See right there, that chimney color? It blends out so nicely. The mattes in here are really, really creamy. I love using cookies and milk and cookies, and then with this shade called Pajamas, which is a beautiful gold color. There we go. So these are foil shades, so the camera might not be doing them justice, but this is beautiful. So I love, love, love these. And again, these mattes are just beautiful and creamy, and you do get some fallout. I would say that I wouldn't use these without wetting my brush first. Although you do get that kind of like reaction on your skin where it kind of is a warming sensation. If you have really sensitive eyes, I would not suggest wetting your brush, and you might want to stick to just mattes from this brand, because I've had this since last Christmas, and you know, none of the shadows have broken or anything like that, but I can tell that there's like just a little bit of fragility. See here in the pan how it's kind of just, it's not breaking up, that's just like because they were hand pressed, like that's just normal. But again, they're a little bit, because they're so foilable. Is foilable a word? I don't know. Because they're so just vibrant on the eyes, I think that they're kind of a little bit not unstable, but just a little tiny bit fragile. Like I wouldn't travel with this palette because I'd be afraid of it dropping and like breaking. So, but yeah, this is my probably second favorite palette to the Norvina palette. So this one, I'm torn about this one, you guys. This is the Tarte Rainforest by the Sea Volume 3, and it's kind of an all shimmer palette. It has one matte here called Tiki, and the problem that I have with this is I actually really, really like these shimmers. I do. I really like them. My favorite one is probably Jewel, which is this one here. And then the next one is probably like Malibu and Heatwave over here. Sorry, I'm blinding you. Malibu and Heatwave. I don't think I get enough use out of this, but but the formula is so good in this that I don't necessarily want to get rid of it now. I think just like the Zodiac palette, I'm gonna try and use this as like a 1 week, one palette. I'll probably be going on a lot of interviews and it'd be kind of nice to switch it up and like see how, like what different neutral looks I could do. I might not exclusively use this palette, but this might be my main palette in November. So yeah, so let's see. Oh, there's one more thing. So this is just a Z palette that I have in here, some ColourPop singles, and then these square pans are Menagerie Cosmetics singles, which are so pretty. Starling and Huaracha and Arctic are those were my favorite shimmers before I got the Norvina palette. These still have like a very, very special place in my heart. I love these. I haven't played around too much with these ColourPop shimmer singles, but I want to. I feel like these are going to, I really like Glass Bowl. I like that one a lot. So I'm going to try and make a quad of the month, or maybe like a quintet of the month, and then try and or quintet of the month, and like try and pair that and use it. So maybe I could take some singles and like pair them with that Tarte palette in November, because like I said, I just want to get a little bit more use out of my collection. So I just really love, I love all of these. We're going to pass along 2 palettes, and we're keeping, I'm trying to get this all in the frame here. There we go. So this is what we're passing on, and then this is what we're keeping. This is way more eyeshadow than any one person will ever need in their entire lifetime. Do I feel bad about it? Kind of. Am I still probably going to buy a couple of things at like on Black Friday sales? Yes, because I don't own any Juvia's Place palettes, and I feel like there's something missing in my life. So, alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you are you thinking of decluttering your makeup, or are you the kind of person who like buys one palette, uses it up, and then buys another one? Are you someone who just like has like 80 neutral palettes and like one colorful single? Or are you like me, where you're kind of eclectic and you have all different kinds of stuff? But let me know in the comments down below. Be kind. I'm sorry. Alright guys, I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.